All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here I am in the QBO gym, and the QBO gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new exercises for you to practice and complete, and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be working in the September cardio section. At the top here is a video that gives you a little synopsis of what's going to be going on that month in Craig's business. He is our fictitious business owner, of course. Further down is an interactive quiz that relates to the video that you just watched up above. And then further down are all of the exercises within that section. So today we are going to practice reconciling and paying the credit card. You will need to be in the same session of the sample company that we used in the previous exercises. If you have not done those yet, go ahead and click on the link on the top right corner that will take you to the first exercise, and then continue with that one and all the ones after that. They build on each other, so you have to complete that first one first and then make your way all the way through until you come back to this one. And if you haven't already, you need to download the Visa statement. You should have it from the previous exercise, but if you don't have it open right now, you can just get it underneath the animated video. So to do that, we're just going to go right back up into the gym. Here's the animated video, and then click on the little button that says Visa statement. You can just go ahead and open that up, and you will see this appear. Oops. All right, so our scenario today is that the new corporate Visa is set up and you just received the first statement. So you need to pay the bill, and since we have the statement on hand, we're also going to reconcile the account. So let's start with reconciling the Visa account. Remember, the parent account is labeled as Visa Corporate, and that is the account we are going to use for reconciliation. So step 1 is that you need to be on the chart of accounts page. Since we are using the same session of the sample company that we used in the previous exercise, you should already be on the chart of accounts page. But if you navigated away from that page, no worries. To get back to it, you would just go on the left-hand nav bar, mouse over transactions, and then select chart of accounts. So here I am in the sample company. This is the last page that I left off of. As I mentioned, it is the chart of accounts page, but if you are off of this page, you would just go over here to transactions, hover over that, and then click on chart of accounts. All right, so we need to go to the Visa corporate row because that's the one that we are using for reconciliation. So on that row, we are going to click View Register. So here is that Visa corporate. This is the parent account. We are going to click on the View Register button. If you happen to get any pop-ups here, just go ahead and click out of them. It's just QBO trying to give you some more information. So to get started with reconciling, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, we're going to click on Reconcile. So over here on the top right, click on the green Reconcile button, and this will appear for you. If you haven't reconciled in the sample company recently, they will have this screen pop up. It's usually just the first time that you've ever reconciled. You may also get this in real life when you're working on a client's books. So especially it's just when you first get started, and it's just because QBO wants to give you a little overview of what you are clicking into and what you are about to do. So they're just trying to give you a little bit of a helpful hand here. Go ahead and click on the green Get Started button. And then you will see this pop up appear as well. Go ahead and click on Let's Get Reconciled, which is this step number 5 here. So in step number 6, in the ending balance field, we're going to type the ending balance found on the statement, which is $24.71. If we open this up, these are all the subtotals here. And then at the top here is this ending balance, $24.71. So that is what we want to type in here in the ending balance, $24.71. And as a quick note here, you see the account, it says Visa Corporate, and that's because we went to the chart of accounts first, and we clicked on the View Register and then the reconciliation button. If we had come directly to the bank transactions or went directly to reconcile here, we may have needed to adjust this account so that it said Visa Corporate. So just keep that in mind in real life when you're doing reconciliation. You need to double check that the account that you're wanting to reconcile is actually pulled up here. For the ending date in the field, we're going to type a lowercase t for today. If on the bank statement, if there was an actual date that says like the statement ending date, that is what we would want to put here. But since we don't have that here for this example, for the sample company, just go ahead and put a lowercase t in the ending date, and then you will see today's date, whatever day you're doing this, will appear for you. And now we just need to click on the green Start Reconciling button. So click on that green Start Reconciling button, and you will see all of the transactions for that Visa. The ones for Craig, for Emily, and for John all appear. If you happen to get any pop-ups, just go ahead and click out of those. Again, QBO is just trying to be super helpful and give you a little more information about what's going on this page. So to the immediate right of the payment column, we're going to click on the circle at the top to select all the transactions. Normally in real life, when you are reconciling accounts, you want to check each transaction against the transaction on the statement. But since we just entered all of these, we know that they are most likely correct. And since we did it, we know that it's actually correct. But you would otherwise look here. I'll give you one example here. We would look to see where there is, I'm sorry, let me go back to the bank statement. Let's see, we're looking here at the very top. We're looking for a Bob Burger joint expense for $15. We would look on here to find it, and here it is. We would click on that little circle there, and that circle just indicates that it's cleared, that we've been able to find a match for it. But for the purposes of today, since we just entered all of these transactions in the last couple of exercises, we're going to go ahead and click on this one at the top where we are selecting all of them. Now, anytime you do this, whether in the sample company or in real life, if you try to select all of the transactions, QBO is going to give you this little warning pop-up just to make sure you do, in fact, want to select all of them. For our purposes, we do. So you're going to click on the green Yes, Select All. And you will see all of them have been selected for us. We have, because we have selected all of them and they are reconciling to the bank statement, our difference is going to be 0. And that's because the ultimate goal when you are reconciling is to get this statement ending balance minus the cleared balance to equal 0. This means that the ending balance, this is the balance that we added in that previous screen, the ending balance that would be on the statement. And then this cleared balance is all of the charges and payments that are pulling up from here as we are clicking on the circle. They're going to pull up here and roll up into this cleared balance. So we want to make sure that this minus this equals 0. And it does. So we are all finished with the reconciling. To end this, we're going to click on the green Finish Now. And you will see this pop up appear here. In real life, when you are doing this for your clients, there will be an opportunity here to attach a statement. If you have one, I highly recommend putting it on there. It's always good to have a little bit of extra paperwork and information if you ever need to refer back to it. The sample company does not offer this, so that's why there's nothing here. So for right now, we're just going to click on the green Done button. And there we go. We have finished reconciling the Visa card. And that's what that is all saying. There we go. All right, so let's move on here. So Craig's credit card is a 1% cashback awards card. The statement shows his awards amount as $24.50. So how should we handle it? This type of reward is treated as a rebate on spending. The IRS does not count this as income, so it's not necessary to track the cashback reward in QBO while it is accumulating. If it is redeemed for cash that appears on the books, for example, to reduce the amount owed, then you should track it as a refund to the most used spending account rather than just miscellaneous income. But just be aware that there are other types of rewards. Like a referral bonus that would be considered income and would need to be tracked. So, just a little aside here, just as you are working with clients, if they have a cashback awards card, just keep that in mind here as you are needing to decide how you're going to track it, if at all. There we go. Okay, so let's move on here. You need to record paying the Visa bill, and Craig normally uses his bank's bill paying service to pay the credit card bills from his checking account. So let's record that as an expense. And a bank's bill paying feature, if you don't have this in your own bill, they have the ability that you can have something kind of like a transaction for the bank to a trigger for the bank to send the person that you are trying to pay, the vendor, a check for whatever it is. So again, we're just going to assume that that is the way that he paid for his credit card rather than going directly into the credit card account to pay it that way. So we are going to record it as an expense. So to get started, we're going to click on the plus new button and then select expense. So over here on the top, on the left nav bar here, click on the plus new. Under vendors, click on expense. And this form will appear. So let's go ahead and fill it out. In the payment account, we're going to select checking. So while the bill is going to be paid with a single transaction for the entire amount, we can record the expense so that the total amount is allotted between the three cards. So we will start with Craig's card first, but let's go ahead and make that payment account. This is showing up from the previous exercise because the last expense that we put in here was for John's card. So we're going to click into this and we're going to change this to checking. You can leave the payee as is, and the payment date would be the date that you would be sending that the bill was actually paid. For today's exercise, we are just going to leave it as is. So in the first row of the category details grid, we're going to click the category field and then select Visa Corporate Visa. This is for Craig's card, and then we're going to put the amount that was on his statement. So let's go down here. Category details grid, under category, if you click into it 2 times and you scroll down, might be a long to scroll. Yeah, let's go ahead and just type in Visa so we can see what pops up. Okay, so we have Visa Corporate, which is that umbrella account that we just used for reconciliation. Visa, which is Craig's card, and then the other two, which are for Emily and John. So the one we want is Craig's. Go ahead and click on Visa here. There you see Visa Corporate Visa. And the amount that he had on his was $23.15, which if we look at the statement, here is for Craig's card, $23.15 is what we want to put in there for the amount. And then just tab over and you see that it is captured by QBO. Now we need to do the next thing for Emily's. On the second line of that, we're going to select her card in the category field and then type 95 since that is the amount that was on her card. So if we click into the second line here, click into it 2 times, let's type in Visa here, and we will see the 4 appear. Her card ends in 0576, so this is the one that we want. Go ahead and click that. And then the amount from her statement was $95. So we're going to put that in the amount. If you tab over, you see that QBO has updated the amount to add Craig and Emily's card together. And now we just need to do the one for John. So again, in the category field, we're going to put his card, and then the amount field is going to be $61 since that is what is on his statement here. So let's click onto this third line, click into it, and start typing in Visa. And there is John's card right there, the 0577. And we said again, the amount was $61. So we need to go ahead and put that in the amount field. Tab over, and once again, you are seeing that that total, that 2471, which is exactly what we want, is the total for this expense. And again, this is showing that each card's charges are tracked in a single expense form, but it's paid with one transaction. So that's why we are doing it in this manner. So now we are just going to simply save and close this expense. So down here, click on the green Save and Close button. And now that expense, that payment has been saved. But let's take a quick look at the chart of accounts to ensure that the Visa card payment is recorded properly. So to get to the chart of accounts, we are going to, in the left nav bar, mouse over Transactions and then click on Chart of Accounts. So over here on the left nav bar, here you would hover over Transactions and then click on Chart of Accounts. Before I do that, I just also want to mention, since we are on this page, this reconciliation page, if you look here, there are other tabs up here as well. We could actually click on this Chart of Accounts one to get directly there as well because it's within this Transactions category. But let's do it the way that the exercise says. So hover over Transactions and then you can click on Chart of Accounts. And now this is all showing up. Let's scroll down to the Visa where we have all of those showing up for us. And you will notice on here that all of the cards now reflect a $0 balance as the bill has been paid and the expense allotted amongst the three cards based on the dollar value is charged on one. So it is showing as a $0 balance all the way through, which means the expense was recorded properly. And that's how you would reconcile and pay a credit card. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. We are going to be moving through the cardio section for September in our next exercise, where we focus on writing off an invoice. And I will see you in the next video.